Hello there and welcome to this channel. In this video, I teach you all about set interval in JavaScript. What is it, how to use it, when to use it, how to clear the interval, or how to stop the interval. Let us get started. What is set interval? Set interval is a function that accepts multiple arguments, as many arguments as you want. The first two arguments are required or mandatory, and the other arguments are optional. The first argument is the callback function or the interval handler. The second argument is the execution interval. The type of the second argument is number and it is minimum 10 or 10 milliseconds. If you give less than 10, then it uses automatically 10. The other arguments are not mandatory. The setInterval function executes the block of code from the callback function every given millisecond. To practice setInterval in JavaScript, let us build a digital clock using setInterval function. Create a new file, index.html. Change the page title to digital clock. Open here section element. Inside this section element, div element, give it an ID, hour. Use Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V to copy paste this multiple times. Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. Change it to minute, second, and ms for millisecond. And another div with colon inside of it to separate the hour, minute, second, and millisecond. Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and Ctrl+V. Give it a class digital clock. Inside the head element, use a style element. So dot digital clock, margin 50 pixels, padding 10 pixels, display flex, justify content, space around, background color, for now just this color to see the difference, border 1 pixel, solid black. Let us see how it looks like. If you don't have the live server extension, you can install it by going to the extension and then type here live server, and then it will pop up and install. It is very simple to install the live server extension in Visual Studio Code. So right click, open with live server. Very nice. For now it looks like this. Let us give, for example, the hour is 23, the minute is, for example, 57, the second is, for example, 53, and the millisecond is, for example, 500. This much. Save it, and now it looks like this. So we gave this a specific width, let us say 200 pixels. Let us see, now it looks like this. Make it 300. Now it is better. Font size, let us give it 20 pixels. For the colon, I want it to be bold. Control C, Control V, Control V. Bold. Font weight, bold. Save it and see the changes. Very nice. So for the HTML and CSS we are done. Let us jump to the JavaScript. We have to bring this HTML elements here to change its content. Our element document.get element by ID. Control C, Control V. So minute element, second element, millisecond element. Current date. Create here a new date. You have all the necessary information inside this new date object. So here we say our dot. You have inner text, you have inner HTML, you have text content, but I like to use always inner HTML because it is safer. In case you also want to render some HTML, then it works. But if you use inner text or text content, it will not render HTML. So inner HTML, current date dot get hours. For the minute, the same thing. Minute dot inner HTML, current date dot get minutes. Second element dot get seconds dot get millisecond. The execution interval is 1000 millisecond, which is 1 second. It executes this function after every second. I want to change it to like 100 millisecond. Import the JavaScript inside HTML. Script src set interval. Very nice. Now you see here, you're seeing the millisecond significantly. You see the second, the minute, and the hour. You see bad behavior here because of the width is changing. Let us fix that. So we give the millisecond fixed width so that it does not get smaller and larger. So ID ms width 100 pixel. Overflow visible. Now you see it is much better. You do not see a crazy behavior now. We can improve this digital clock to see here a number between 0 and 100 instead of 0 and 1000. Do not bring this HTML elements inside this function, because as you know, this function gets executed every 100 milliseconds, which is a lot of work for the computer to also get these HTML elements. We get it one time at page reload, and that's enough. And we update the DOM programmatically using JavaScript, as you see here. So it is not necessary that we also get the elements inside this function every time we want to update them. Math.round millisecond divided by 10. Now it goes from 0 to 100. After some seconds, we see an unexpected behavior, because there you also see 1000. So change it to math.floor. Now it is much better. When to use set interval? The very common use cases of set interval is creating digital clocks, timers, and countdown timers during the discount period for the online shops and online stores. And every time you want to repeatedly execute or run a block of code. How to clear interval or how to stop the interval? Well, the set interval is a function and it returns an ID. You can use the interval ID to stop the interval. For example, const interval ID, and here we set a timer to clear the interval. This is just an example. Set timeout, we pass here an anonymous function, and we call here clear interval and the interval ID. For example, after 5 seconds. 5 seconds later, remove the interval. If you don't know about set timeout, I have another video, the link is in the description. You can watch the video and learn all about set timeout. So it is stopped. If I refresh the page after 5 seconds, it stops, which means that the interval is clear. Can change this to, for example, clear the interval or stop the interval after 3 seconds. That's it, guys. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was clear. If anything was not clear, comment below this video and I answer as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and being around. Have great times.